I'm gonna jump like a kangaroo. Let's do this! Alright YouTube, so... like I said, jump like a kangaroo. Okay, so today is part of Halloween week, and it's only this Saturday, it's Halloween! Can't wait! So, today I'm doing this one, my top 10 found footage movies. Now, found footage films have evolved a lot over the years. You know, one of the earliest ones ever was, I think, Cannibal Holocaust, maybe? Cannibal Holocaust. That was part found footage. But then it all started, but then it was the Blair Witch that took it right off. So, the found footage films. These are my top 10. I like every top 10 playlist. Every top 10 list I do is just my personal opinion alone. So let's do it. At number 10 it is The Visit. Written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Two siblings, a boy and a girl, go and stay with their grandparents for the week, whilst their mum goes off on holiday with some bloke. The kids, are having a great time. They decide to film the whole thing as a documentary, as they've never met their grandparents before. But then they find out that the grandparents have, well, a very dark and disturbing secrets. And there's a big twist with it. Of course, with it being an M. Night Shyamalan film. But a lot of films with him are hit and miss. You're either good or bad. Okay, next, at number 9, it is VHS, an anthology horror film where a person, plays, where the person in it's found footage, and then they put on various VHS tapes with short horror films on. They even made a sequel, VHS 2, then VHS Viral. And, I've only seen the first one. I like it for its content it has and stuff, but there's so many different stories going up at once in it. Well, not at once, but just a lot. Okay, at number 8 we got Wreck, a Spanish horror film where a news reporter and a cameraman follow some, firemen in a tall building, in a flight of flats, skyscraper. But the whole building's been quarantined as they are then faced fighting zombies. If Wreck was a comedy horror film, it'd be called Firemen vs. Zombies. But yes, it was then remade as a film called Quarantine, which was also good. But when it comes to that, I thought, nah, it's got to go to the original. I like that one better. Even though I couldn't understand much of what they were saying, it still made me jump more than it did with Quarantine. Probably because I saw it all coming in Quarantine. Okay, next at number 7, we have The Devil's Due. Found footage again. Well, they're all found footage. A newly married couple on their honeymoon get invited to some party, but then without them knowing, a ritualistic cult performs some ritual on them. Next thing, the woman is pregnant, and they just think, they're going to be parents, newly married and parents. But then dark things start happening when the mother starts behaving strange, and she turns out to be carrying none other than a vicious evil demon. Okay, next, at number 6, it is As Above, So Below, a found footage film where some archaeology students go into the catacombs of Paris, only to then get lost in a maze where they are constantly, coming across ghosts and elements of their past. Very jumpy, quite creepy. It wasn't the best found footage film I watched, but hey, I liked it and it was good, and it's a found footage film. Next, at number 5, it is Diary of the Dead. Directed by the godfather of the zombies, George A. Romero. It's a found footage film following some student filmmakers and their professor, you know, getting through a zombie apocalypse. You know, it was like the first found footage zombie film that I saw, and I quite enjoyed it. It was good. Didn't really scare me much because it was all, well, that's the thing with found footage. They're meant to look real, and you know, I used to think they were real. Okay, number 4, Creep. You know, again, it's a found footage film with only 2 cast members in. What it is this guy, you know, he documents another guy who's terminally ill and wants to make like a video diary for his unborn son. But then things take a very dark turn as the terminally ill man isn't fully who he says he is, and then it sort of turns to like a dark stalker thriller and stuff. It's quite a good one. You know, check it out. You can find it on Netflix. I did, and it was recommended by a young lass named Emma, who's Spooky Astronaut, who has her own channel as well. So check her out if you can. She's a subscriber of mine as well as I am of hers. Okay, next at number 3 we got Cloverfield. At a farewell party, you know, they're doing a great send-off for a bloke who's moving to Japan for a job. But then the night turns into a horrific night of survival when a giant unknown creature is rampaging through the streets of New York. Yeah. Also, you've got to watch out for a lot of subliminal messages and Easter eggs in it. There are some in it, so keep a lookout for it. Okay, next at number 2 it is The Blair Witch Project. Probably one of the first of its kind, made to look real and is said to be absolutely terrifying. I never found it scary, and I found the sequel crap. But yes, The Blair Witch Project, with the realistic elements when some student filmmakers, 3 of them, go out into the woods and get lost in a maze of evilness and dark, sinister, scary stuff. Even the student filmmaker starts crying and her nose starts running, and they have no tissues. None. Because they wanted their fear to look real. Because, you know, it started off acting, but then they were really scared. But that's what the director wanted. And, you know, the director, he was a one-hit wonder, because I don't think he's ever done any other films that are good. Or done any other films at all. Okay, so, before I get to my number 1 pick, I want to just get in a few honourable mentions. They are the last horror film, what is it, top of my head, Cannibal Holocaust, you know, Project X. That's not really a horror film, but it's still found footage. Chronicle, also, you know, there's a lot. Also, oh yeah, The Pyramid, which I think is like partly found footage. Oh yeah, The Devil Inside. That's another one. Yeah, I can't think of much more. Number 1, Paranormal Activity. Now, well, basically the entire franchise, because I love those films. I liked the first one. I went to see it with my sister. I was jumped by it. Didn't really jump much, but the ending really made me jump. The second one, Paranormal Activity 2, was like a prequel, and I was dreading the jump scares in that one because I thought that was scarier. The third one, not so scary because you could see it coming. The fourth one, again, pretty much the same, but although it's a different family. And then we have you know, the marked ones, which were like a sequel spin-off. Then we have the final installment, which is out in cinemas now, Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. It focuses on this, like, mainly the whole series focuses on these siblings, you know, Katie and Christy. You know, 2 sisters, you know, that are somehow focused around this cult of, well, it's a coven of witches that worship this great evil. The coven is called the Midwives, and they worship a demon that the children call Toby. Now, we never saw him in any of the films at all. at all. But in this final instalment, well, it's said to be the final instalment of the series, we do see Toby. And this time we see a lot more of the paranormal than we do of the activity in the sixth one. That's a spoiler alert, sorry if I spoiled it for you. But yeah, Paranormal Activity, the original, it was done in 2007 as an online film, but then got theatrically released in 2009, 2 years later. With the success of it, they made like prequels and sequels. Yeah, it's like the third one, Paranormal Activity 3, is a prequel to 2, and 2 is a prequel to 1. Paranormal Activity 4, I think, is like is like the first proper sequel in the series. And then we've got, the marked ones, which is like a spin-off, sort of taking off around, I don't know, sort of same time around as the Ghost Dimension. Then we got the Ghost Dimension, which takes place after all the films, because it's the very last one, said to be. Whether it will be, I don't know, because you know what, they're like with films these days, they'll make a sequel after sequel, just for money benefits. Anyway, yes, that has been my top 10 found footage films. What are yours? Leave a comment down below and let me know what yours are. Also, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to share, please feel free to share. Also, I'm on social media, so there are links to my Facebook, so like me on Facebook, and then there's a link to my Twitter, so follow me on Twitter to stay updated on what I get up to outside of YouTube. And yes, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, so yeah, till next time, goodbye friends. I can make this look like a found footage film. I can. I can hear something. No, I'm just messing. See ya.